Hello everybody, it is Saturday morning. I just finished a great big long video that will be up, and I think it will be a really good reference video of what to expect on my channel here in 2025. So long story short, this is what it looks like after, I don't know, a couple of weeks of sickness being in our house and just trying to ease into January. So I got some new bread pans, so I'm gonna take the box and get rid of that. I have my bread recipe, I'm trying to perfect it, so I need to find a place of where I'm gonna store all of this. I made a loaf of bread because I wanted to make lunch today. I have some kitchen appliances here. I need to get this all cleaned up. I took out spaghetti sauce for dinner tonight, so it'll be quick and easy. I need to get all of my flour that I have and put it all in one place and use it, and then figure out where I'm going to store it all. I have butter out for baking, the silicone thing for hamburger buns. I did make a casserole in my Pyrex, and I'm trying to get it clean, so I need to clean it with an SOS pad to scrape it. But I made like that 7-layer casserole. Oh my goodness, it was so good. And I think that would be a really good freezer meal too, is to make one and freeze one. And then these are the buns that we made, so we'll probably use these for, I don't know, whatever, but it was an experiment. They're not as nice as what I wanted, but they still taste pretty good. And then trying to figure out storage and all of that. And then I'm working on laundry. So my goal right now is to just get everything cleaned up, ready to go. And I wanted to make salmon sandwiches for my husband and I for lunch today. I have some pancakes for my son, so I'm gonna do that. And then what my goal is for the rest of January is to kind of clean up what we have. I have some fruits, we have cookies, some pasta, the salad. Actually, what's the date? January 18th. I think it's still good. So I think I'll make this up, and then my husband and I will have sandwiches and salad. There's the pancakes, and then we're just trying to keep everything like really soft for our son. He has a little bit of a sore throat. I think the congestion's gone, so I want to keep things simple for him. I have some oranges, cucumber, green onions. I have a bunch of stuff to use up from Christmas and all of that, so I'm going to be doing some baking this weekend, and then also cleaning out like condiments. I still have like some crust or cinnamon rolls from Christmas that I didn't use, so that might be nice for breakfast tomorrow with the strawberries. And then also just kind of downsizing all of our condiments, and then figuring out like protein and all of that, and just getting back on a good routine of everything. And then this is my next thing. I organized my freezer, so now I'm working on my pantry, because if we're remodeling our kitchen, I want to know what I want. I would like to keep this pantry. I love it. I don't have any problem. I just like to update the cabinets. So I've been cleaning things out from it. I have a bunch of odds and ends, so I am going to be doing some baking, cleaning stuff up, and then I think my husband and I are going to do a little bit of a purge today or tomorrow and do some donations to the food bank, and then figure out where I'm going to keep my flour, sugar, my baking ingredients. I have all water bottles and everything in here. M&Ms from Christmas. I have broth up here, and then I have it down here, and I don't even know what I have, so it's a hot mess. I started to do it in 2024, but just like my freezer, you gotta use things up, get it to a point where it's a lot more manageable, and then buy only what you need and keep it organized. So that is going to be part of the thing for the rest of January. And then also the goal for going into February is by the end of February, have this completely organized, and hopefully the second closet. So anyways, anything will be linked down below so you can follow my journey. So anyways, I'm going to get the kitchen cleaned up and start making lunch for us. So some of the things that I like to do to motivate myself is to set timers. So right now it's 11:15, so I'm going to use our little gadget that we have there where you tell her to set a time and play some music. So that's exactly what I'm going to do. I'm just going to set the timer and do a general tidy and get everything ready to go, and see what I can get accomplished in 15 minutes, and I'll be back. Feels so much better to have everything kind of washed and organized and put away, and now I can start making lunch. So I was experimenting with my bread recipe, and I split it in half, and I did the bread and then the hamburger buns. I didn't get the shape that I wanted, but it's still going to be okay. So I'm just slicing up the bread, and I'm going to make some nice salmon sandwiches for my husband and I. And of course, the supervisors showed up for their shift, and I'm gonna share a little bit of bread with him. I know it's probably a bad thing because Hunter is really bad with his eating and everything, but I think it's still trying to show him that you can have little things here and there, but you know, you can't like eat a whole loaf of bread. But anyways, we've always like shared with our dogs. I know some people might disagree with it, but it's what we've always done. So anyways, I have the can of salmon. I have some green onions, so I'm going to slice it up and get everything ready to go. But I just wanted to share it with you because salmon sandwiches might seem so silly, but they're just a happy memory for me. For years, like with my parents, we would stop in if my husband had the day off, like instead of going out for lunch or something, like we would stop in and have a visit with my parents, and my mom would always have a can of salmon in the pantry. And she goes, "Would you like some sandwiches?" And we're like, "Yeah." So she'd always like whip up the salmon sandwiches, and they were always like perfect. It was the perfect combination of the salmon and the bread. And she, you know, prep them up for us, and it was always so nice. And then when it was done, she'd always make tea and have like a little cookie or something for us. So I have the sandwiches, I got some plates out, and then I'm going to do the salad, and we're going to split a Dr. Pepper Zero, and I'm just going to try and make it as if we were going out for lunch but enjoying it at home. So here it is, simple little salad kit and just a nice delicious salmon sandwich on homemade bread. It wasn't the perfect loaf of bread, but it still tasted very good, and it was nice to sit down and have a little lunch date with hubby. It's 1 o'clock and the dishwasher is not done running yet, so I'm just going to leave it. I have all of the dishes in the one sink because I can't do anything with them until the dishwasher's done. I wash as little by hand as possible. I use my dishwasher. I like the hot setting on it. I just find it helps with like that steaming and the cleanliness and everything on it. So anyways, that's what I do. So we have salmon again for lunch tomorrow. And then figure out what to do with the rest of the bread. And then I don't really have anything for breakfast tomorrow morning. So I think if I take the buns and then do like breakfast sandwiches with them, that would be fine. And then I have strawberries in the fridge, and then that will take care of that. I would like to make something for dessert tonight, so I have an idea. So I'm going to find the recipe, and then I'll clean all of this up later. Laundry, I just folded a load. And then I have my last load of laundry in the washing machine to put in the dryer, and then everything is completely done. So now I'm going to take the next few hours. We all have things that are going to be done and everything, and then I'll check back with you when I start thinking about dinner, dessert, and then trying to figure out what meals are going to look like for the rest of the week too. Just having a little bit of a game plan and a strategy. And there's my buddy. Did you like the bread? Yes, I know it was very good. I don't have any carrots tonight. You had a cookie. So I think we should go have some quiet time. I'm going to go down and edit. And I bet you'd like to come with me, right, Hunter? Should we go edit? And the other biggest thing, too, is, like, we didn't get up this morning until 7:45, which is, like, unheard of. Normally, I'm up at 5:45. So I'm on, like, a 2-hour, like, delay. So, like, all of this stuff would have been done before lunch, but it's not, and it's okay. We're just like adjusting the schedule, trying to enjoy like a Saturday with being productive and lazy and slowing everything down, because that's all about. Oh, I hear the other one coming. Hi, Linus. Yes, Linus needs a haircut. Yes, we were outside. It was so nice. Now you guys are gonna have a little rest, and we're all gonna do what we need to do. Okay, I found a fruit crisp recipe that I made before. I looked up on my channel, I found the recipe. So it calls for 4 cups of frozen mixed berries. I'm actually just going to use the strawberries that I have. And then with the crumble topping, I think I'm just going to use the one that I have from my apple crisp. So I'm going to make that in probably about an hour. And then we saw that there was a store that had an in-store special for ham. And this was on for $1.99 a pound. So Steve went and got it. It's a smoked ham shank portion. I don't know if there's a bone in it. It doesn't feel like there's a bone. But anyways, I'm going to have this for dinner tomorrow night. And then I'm going to make soup because it's supposed to be really, really, really cold this week. So this was $20. So I think that's a really good deal. And then we can eat it, and then I can cut it up, so I can make like breakfast casseroles. We could use the ham for sandwiches and then also use it for soup. So I'm gonna put that in the fridge. And then I also went and got all the flour that I have. So I have the all-purpose flour, and then I have a bag of whole wheat flour that I don't really use a lot. And that was one of the things I read in the bread recipe, is like the different texture and consistency with this. But this might be good to mix like for muffins, or to make some like cookies or something, like breakfast cookies with like carrots, or morning glory muffins or cookies. This is the bread flour that I've been using, and then I have one more bag of bread flour. So I'm going to try and use all of this up before I buy anything else, and then figure out how much I want to buy, what brand I want to buy, and just figure all of that out. But at least I know I don't have a whole bunch of flour everywhere. I actually thought that I had more, but I'm very happy that I don't have too much. And then I have my regular all-purpose flour that I use in the container in the cupboard. As always, I am going to try and keep it real. I will link this recipe down below because I did make it before with frozen fruit that was purchased, and I did it exactly how the recipe said, and it turned out really good. So this time I was playing around with it a little bit. I think I used more berries than I should have because they were from the summer. I was trying to figure out the flour and all of that, and it's, you know, it happens. It wasn't the best recipe. It didn't turn out as nice as I thought it was going to be. And it's okay, you know, things turn out in the kitchen and things don't turn out. So I just wanted to share that with all of you. But I did make this before with frozen fruit, and it was delicious. So I will link that down below, and I won't share with you kind of the little bit of a disaster that I made for kind of fruit crisp or crumble or whatever you want to call it. It was none of those things when it was finished baking. Now I'm getting the pasta out, so I have a bunch of open packages. So I have a little bit of fettuccine, I have a couple of packages of spaghetti that's open. So I'm weighing it out. They always say for spaghetti, it's 2 ounces per person per serving. So I'm going to do about 9 to 10 ounces because I want it for the 3 of us for dinner, but then I also want to have leftovers. So I'm waiting for my water and everything to come to boil. And while that's happening, I'm just going to clean up the few dishes that I have. And I think that's one of the things that when I was at my lowest point, just trying to deal with life and my mental health and everything, I got very overwhelmed and I just never knew where to start. And now like everything is coming together. I'm getting organized. You know, having my little daily 5 that I do really helps me. I'll talk more about that as I continue to share with all of you this year, but setting those little timers for 5 minutes, 15 minutes, like just doing little cleanups really makes a big difference. And whatever I get done in 5 minutes, I get done. And if I don't get everything done, it's okay. Like I move on to my next phase, but I'm getting to the point where I have almost everything done right before the timer goes off. So anyways, I had to scrub a few little things here, but it'll be really nice to have the kitchen all cleaned up. So that way, as I'm cooking dinner, it'll be really easy. So I didn't even have the water boiling. It's like not even 5 o'clock yet. So I have the water ready to go. The sauce is there. There's the pasta, all measured out and everything. It's a little bit more than what I normally do, but everything is clean. The colander is out. I hand washed the bag. I'm not sure if I like them or not. And then this is my hot mess. I was trying to figure out like a different crumble topping. I used a whole cup of oats. And it was really cakey. It didn't turn out. And then I also have my sandwich bread recipe. So I did this during Christmas. You would have seen it in my Vlogmas. The playlist is linked down below. I bought this book at Dollarama, and I'm trying to like perfect my recipes for what I make for Christmas. So I have some Andes mints. I should make another batch of this. I didn't make the gingerbread cream cheese bars, but I have everything to make them. So I still could make them just to kind of perfect the recipe again. And then I do want to make some more muffins. The gingerbread muffins, I do want to make those. I wanted to over Christmas in January, but then I got sick. The prime rib I did, the breakfast casseroles, and I definitely want to make these cranberry bread recipe, but I want to try it as muffins. So that's some of the things I'm going to be working on for the next month or so. So anyways, this is the book that I got at Dollarama. It's just a spiral portfolio. It was $40. It has 30 pages. So I put my bread recipe in here, and then I think at the back I'm gonna do like more of like the desserts and everything. So there's 30 pages, but you could put like 60 recipes, I guess, because like the two sides. So anyways, I'm trying to figure everything out, but I think this is a really great place to put the recipes. And then once I perfect them, I want to like hand write them out and everything. Everything is a process and it takes time. But as I've said before, you have to have a starting point, and that's exactly what I'm trying to do right now. Here is my plate of spaghetti. That was it because I knew we were having dessert. It was so good because it was homemade. I didn't have the great big mess, and I knew that I didn't have a great big mess waiting for me to clean up in the kitchen. So I just sprayed some Dawn Power Wash, and then I'm just going to let the pan sit. There's the leftover spaghetti. And then the crumble, it has a little bit more time to cook, and then you're supposed to let it cool for an hour. So we have a lot of other things to do, but I have the towel and everything ready to go. So once it's done, I'm going to put it out here, and I'm also going to go ahead and get my oven mitts ready for it. Here it is. It smells really good, but it doesn't look right. Like it bubbled up a lot and everything, and then as I spooned it out, it was very watery. But anyways, we're gonna taste it. It tasted good. It's just that the crisp mix was very doughy, very floury, but I also wanted to use up the ice cream, so that's why I made it. So I did a little bit of looking because I'm going to be making the ham for dinner tomorrow, and then I'm thinking about making scalloped potatoes, and then I want to make a pea soup. So I got the recipes and everything printed out so I can look over them, and then we do need to get a few groceries. So I got the Walmart flyer out, looked through that, and then I started to make my list. So I feel like things are falling into place. Like today was actually a really enjoyable day. I got a lot of stuff done. I'm setting up new systems and routines. I'm going to update my freezer inventory, and then I keep everything on the fridge. So I hope you enjoyed this. I know it was a little bit of this, a little bit of that, but I'm really starting to get organized, and then the videos will be a lot more nicer flowing, a little bit more of production style videos. And that is the goal at the end of the day, is to just share with you a nice, relaxing Saturday in my kitchen.